Somewhere along the way, someone told you that to build real wealth, you have to quit your job, start a business, build a brand, go all in, burn the boats. And look, for some people that works, but for most people, that story is just wrong, and it's keeping them stuck. Here's the truth. Your paycheck is one of the most powerful tools you have. The problem isn't where the money comes from. The problem is what you do with it once it lands in your account. Today I'm going to walk you through a system, a real proven system that turns your salary into ownership, and ownership into freedom. It's called the ownership loop, and it starts with your paycheck. Part 1. Rethink your job. Before we talk about investing or buying businesses, we have to talk about income, because your current salary is your biggest lever. Most people treat their paycheck like a fixed number. It is not. It is negotiable. And most people leave serious money on the table every single year by never asking. Think about what a series of smart moves can do. You negotiate a raise. You jump to a better paying company. You pick up a performance bonus. Over 2 or 3 years, you've added $20,000 to $40,000 to your annual income. Sometimes more. That extra money isn't lifestyle. That's a down payment. That's a debt payoff. That's the seed for everything that comes next. Your job is not the enemy, it's the foundation. The question is, are you using it right? Part 2. The 6 levers of negotiation. Going into how to actually get paid more, there are some levers you can pull. Lever 1. Show receipts. Don't just ask for more money. Prove you've earned it. Quantify your impact. Did you bring in revenue? Save the company money? Speed up a process? Put numbers on it. I generated $200,000 in new client revenue this quarter is a very different conversation than I've been working really hard. Lever 2. Anchor high. Before you name a number, research the market. What are people in your role making at other companies? Lead with that data. Set the anchor high so even the middle of the negotiation lands where you want. Lever 3. Negotiate beyond base pay. Your salary is one part of compensation. Bonuses, equity, extra vacation, remote work flexibility, performance tiers. These all have real dollar value. If they won't move on salary, ask for something else. Lever 4. Make it easy to say yes. Give your employer clear measurable metrics. I'd like to revisit compensation when I hit X milestone. That gives them a framework to say yes without it feeling like pressure. Lever 5. Negotiate timing. Don't just negotiate once. Set up future triggers. Pre-agreed raises tied to performance. Milestone-based reviews. Every time you hit a target, the conversation about more money is already on the calendar. Use these levers consistently and your income grows steadily. And that growing income becomes the fuel for everything else. Part 3. Manage your money before you invest it. More income only helps if you don't immediately spend more. This is where most people fall into a trap called lifestyle inflation. Every time they make more money, their expenses grow to match it. The gap between income and savings never widens. You have to close that gap intentionally. Here's the foundation before anything else. Build your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a high-yield savings account. This is your cushion. Without it, one bad month can unravel everything you're building. Get proper insurance, health, auto, renters, or homeowners. One catastrophic event without coverage can wipe out years of savings. Eliminate high-interest debt. If you're carrying credit card balances at 20% interest, no investment strategy beats paying that off first. Once the foundation is solid, automate. A simple framework, 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, 20% to savings and investing. You can adjust the percentages, but the key is that it happens automatically, before you can spend it. One practical example. Set up an automatic transfer of 25% of every paycheck into a separate savings account the same day you get paid. You'll stop missing it within 2 months. Part 4. Build your freedom fund. Here's a concept that changes the way you think about money. The freedom fund. The idea is the same. It's a pile of savings large enough to give you real options. The target? 3 years of living expenses. If you spend $3,000 a month, that's a $108,000 target. That sounds like a lot, but here's what it gives you: the ability to walk away from a bad job without panic, the ability to take a calculated risk on a business, the freedom to say no to things that don't serve you. Most people never have that freedom because they're always one paycheck away from financial stress. The Freedom Fund breaks that cycle. Build it while you're employed. Let your salary do the work. Part 5. Stop letting your savings sit idle. A quick, very important point: where you keep your savings matters. The average bank savings account pays around 0.2% interest. Inflation is running higher than that, meaning money sitting in a regular savings account is quietly losing value every year. High yield savings accounts available at many online banks currently pay around 4% or more. That's a massive difference for money just sitting there. Move your emergency fund and freedom fund there. Don't leave lazy money in a low yield account. That's a simple change that costs you nothing and earns you more. Part 6. The ownership loop. The ownership loop looks like this: paycheck to ownership to freedom to more. Paycheck to more ownership. The idea is simple. You use your salary, which you've now grown through negotiation and protected through smart money management, to buy things that generate income. Cash flowing assets, businesses. One practical way to start: set aside 10% of your savings specifically for acquisitions. This is your ownership fund. It's not for emergencies, it's not for lifestyle. It's for buying something that pays you back. Here's what that looks like in practice. Sarah had a steady job and used seller financing, where the business owner finances the deal themselves instead of a bank, to acquire a $7 million manufacturing company. No massive upfront cash needed. The deal was structured so the business's own cash flow paid for the purchase. These are easy systems you can apply. Part 7. What kinds of businesses to buy? You don't need to invent anything. You don't need a flashy startup idea. In fact, the best deals are usually the most boring ones. Think of something simple: laundromats, HVAC companies, staffing agencies, home care businesses, small manufacturers, cleaning services. These are businesses that have been running for years, have real customers, and generate steady cash flow. Entry-level deals exist at every size. A $25,000 business with seller financing, a skincare brand in Florida generating high returns. You don't need millions to get started. You need a system and the willingness to do the work. Stop looking at businesses as something other people own. Start asking, what could I buy with what I'm already saving? Part 8. This is borrowed from private equity. This system isn't new. It's what private equity firms have been doing for decades. They raise capital, buy cash-flowing businesses, improve them, and collect the returns. The difference? They do it with other people's money at massive scale. What we're talking about is the same playbook, applied at an individual level, using your own salary as the capital base. It's proven, it's repeatable, and it works for anyone willing to put in the work. You don't need a finance degree. You don't need a rich uncle. You need a system and the discipline to follow it. Conclusion. Let's bring it all together. You do not need to quit your job to build wealth. What you need is to use your job differently. Negotiate harder. Close the gap between income and expenses. Build your freedom fund. Move money out of lazy accounts. And then, when you're ready, use your savings to buy ownership in something that pays you back. That's the loop. Paycheck to ownership to freedom. Wealth isn't just about money. It's about options. It's about confidence. It's about being able to choose your work, your time, your life without fear. Start the loop. Your future self will thank you. If this video brought value, hit like and subscribe. More content like this is coming. See you next time.